Your brain possesses a remarkable, often unnoticed ability to literally become a mirror, activating the same neural pathways in response to another person's emotions as if they were your very own. This isn't just about empathy, it's a profound neurological phenomenon where you actually begin to feel what others feel, especially their stress, without consciously choosing to. This silent, intricate dance of neurons fundamentally reshapes your emotional landscape, turning you into an unwitting emotional sponge. Today, you will unravel the astonishing science behind the mirror neuron effect, a fascinating mechanism that explains precisely why you absorb the stress and emotions of those around you. We'll explore the hidden brain circuitry that drives this unconscious emotional mimicry, revealing how observing distress in another can activate your own pain matrix, making their anxieties undeniably tangible to you. Prepare to gain an insight that will forever transform your understanding of social interactions and equip you to protect your emotional boundaries like never before. The core of this phenomenon lies in a specialized set of brain cells known as mirror neurons. Imagine them as sophisticated internal simulators. These neurons fire not only when you perform an action yourself, but also when you observe someone else performing that exact same action. Discovered initially in the motor cortex of macaque monkeys by Professor Giacomo Rizzolatti and his team at the University of Parma in the early 1990s, these neural circuits provide a direct link between perception and action. When a monkey grabbed a peanut, specific neurons fired, but astonishingly, those very same neurons also fired when the monkey simply watched a human researcher grab a peanut. This groundbreaking observation, published in Experimental Brain Research in 1996, unveiled a fundamental neural system for understanding the intentions and actions of others by internally simulating them. It's like your brain is running a silent, internal rehearsal of what you're witnessing. Now, extend this concept beyond mere physical actions into the realm of emotions. What happens when your brain mirrors not just a grasp, but a grimace? When you see someone flinch in pain or tense with anxiety, your mirror neuron system springs into action. These neural circuits don't just register the visual information, they replicate the internal state. This mirroring isn't limited to specific brain regions, it's a distributed network. Observing someone experiencing disgust, for instance, can activate the insula in your brain, a region associated with processing disgust, as if you yourself were experiencing that visceral reaction. Similarly, witnessing someone in distress can spark activity in areas like the anterior cingulate cortex and the amygdala within your own mind, key players in pain perception and emotional processing. It's an internal echo chamber, instantly resonating with the observed emotion. This profound, unconscious mimicry is the critical first step in what we call stress absorption. You're not just observing, you are internally reenacting their experience. This neurological mirroring, often happening beneath the surface of conscious awareness, sets the stage for a dramatic emotional transference. So, how exactly does this internal reenactment spill over, transforming their stress into your own? How does the sheer act of witnessing distress fundamentally alter your own inner state? Here's the powerful revelation. The mirror neuron system doesn't just observe, it transmits. It creates a direct neural bridge between their emotional state and your own, making you susceptible to absorbing their stress. Consider a scenario. You walk into a room where a colleague is visibly agitated, pacing, their brow furrowed, speaking in hushed, tense tones on the phone. Before you've even processed the specific words, your mirror neurons are already firing. Your own frontal lobe might begin to mimic the subtle muscle contractions around their eyes or the way their posture is hunched. Your internal simulation of their anxiety then triggers corresponding emotional responses within your own brain. Their internal tension becomes a signal that your own system translates into a similar feeling of unease. Before understanding this, you might have simply thought, that person is stressed. But the mirror neuron effect shows it's far more insidious. After understanding this, you recognize that their internal stress is activating the very same neural networks within your own brain that would fire if you were facing that same pressure. Suddenly, you feel a tightening in your own chest, a vague sense of dread, and you wonder why. It's not just empathy, it's a direct, almost physiological replication. Think of it another way. Have you ever been in a meeting where one person's anxiety about a deadline slowly permeated the entire room, making everyone feel more on edge, even those initially calm? This isn't some mystical energy transfer, it's your mirror neurons at work, observing the anxious nonverbals, the fidgeting, the nervous glances, the shallow breathing, triggers corresponding activity in the parts of your brain responsible for processing anxiety. Your limbic system, particularly your amygdala, begins to respond to their perceived threat as if it were your own. A study by Dr. Tanya Singer and her colleagues, published in Science in 2004, brilliantly demonstrated this. They showed that when participants observed a loved one experiencing pain, the pain matrix in their own brain, specifically the anterior insula and anterior cingulate cortex, became active. This wasn't just sympathetic concern, it was a neural representation of pain itself, felt by the observer. It's like their suffering literally echoes inside your skull. This research powerfully illustrates how the mirror neuron system, when linked with our broader emotional and sensory processing centers, transforms observational learning into a deep, visceral emotional experience. Their stress becomes your burden, not through choice, but through unconscious neurological mimicry. This changes everything, doesn't it? You are not merely a detached observer of the human condition, you are fundamentally interconnected. So, how do you navigate this profound neural reality? Knowing that you are hardwired to absorb the emotional states of others offers a powerful new toolkit for managing your own well-being and interactions. Here are 3 specific ways to apply this knowledge. First, cultivate conscious emotional insulation. When entering environments or interacting with individuals known to carry significant stress, actively set a mental boundary. Before a challenging meeting or a conversation with an anxious friend, take a few deep breaths. Visualize a protective barrier, not one of detachment, but one that allows you to observe without immediately internalizing. Remind yourself, these are their emotions, not mine to own. This isn't about ignoring their feelings, it's about acknowledging your mirror neuron activity and then consciously choosing not to let it dictate your internal state. By recognizing the onset of absorption, a sudden shift in your mood, a tightening of your body, you can mentally step back, take a moment to recenter, and process the situation from a more objective viewpoint. This subtle shift in focus can dramatically reduce the intensity of absorbed stress. Second, practice strategic environment management. Recognize that your physical and social surroundings are constantly influencing your internal state through this mirroring effect. If you find yourself consistently drained after certain interactions or spending time in particular spaces, it's not merely psychological, it's neurological. Actively seek out environments and people who exude calmness, optimism, or focused energy. Just as you can absorb stress, you can also absorb positive states. Spend more time with individuals who demonstrate resilience, joy, or quiet determination, as their emotional states will also be subtly mirrored within you, contributing to your own sense of well-being. This might mean adjusting your commute to avoid overly crowded or frantic spaces, choosing a quiet corner in a busy office, or deliberately scheduling calming activities after high-stress exposures. Third, develop proactive, empathetic communication. Since you know you will naturally mirror others, use this knowledge to your advantage in helping them, and by extension, yourself. Instead of just listening to someone's stress, actively validate their feelings without taking them on. Phrases like, "I can see how incredibly frustrating this must be for you," or "That sounds like an immense amount of pressure," acknowledge their experience. This validation helps them feel understood, which can often reduce their emotional intensity and thereby your own mirroring of it. It creates a space for connection without complete emotional merging. Furthermore, by consciously reflecting back what you perceive, you can verify your understanding and prevent misinterpretations that might lead to further stress for both parties. This conscious verbal acknowledgement breaks the silent, unconscious cycle of pure absorption and replaces it with deliberate, healthy engagement. You now possess a profound understanding of a fundamental aspect of human connection. This isn't just a scientific fact, it's a revelation about your very essence. You are no longer merely someone who gets stressed easily or feels things deeply. You are a complex, neurologically interconnected being, exquisitely sensitive to the emotional currents flowing around you. Knowing about mirror neurons transforms your perception of every social interaction. You understand why a shared laugh can lift your spirits and why a room filled with tension can weigh you down. This insight empowers you to reclaim agency over your emotional life, recognizing the difference between your own intrinsic feelings and those you've unconsciously adopted. You can finally make sense of those inexplicable waves of emotion that sometimes wash over you, realizing they may not be yours at all. This understanding shifts your identity, allowing you to cultivate genuine empathy while simultaneously safeguarding your inner peace. The human mind holds an infinite tapestry of such incredible, unseen mechanisms, each one waiting to be revealed. What we've explored today is just one thread. Keep seeking, keep questioning, and continue to peel back the layers of consciousness to understand the universe within. There are so many more layers to uncover, so many more hidden forces at play, fundamentally shaping who we are and why we do what we do. And the next revelation is closer than you think.